I have an agreement with the domestic violence agency in Lagos, headed by Mrs. Titilola Vaevo. Would have some kind of awareness. Should we just say that every last Friday of the month, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, okay, Mike. You agree with that?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Morning, Mrs. Vaevo.
Morning, sir. Good to see you.
Well, good to Mrs. Adeniyi. Sorry, I don't want Mrs. Adeniyi to... Okay. Now, before we go into our discussion, which is about the rights of a child,
yes,
this story came up this morning about this school, Greater Scholars International School, Aja.
Yes.
And there was a demonstration there, I think yesterday.
Yes.
And the parents are saying that they've had no contact whatsoever with the owner of the school. Of course, you know about the case.
Yes, we do.
The security man defiled, a young girl of 5 and so on and so forth. From your side, what's going on?
Okay, so the case was actually reported to us via our toll-free line.
Toll-free line?
Yes, we have
a toll-free line. Which is what, so I can tell people?
08000 333.
That's 08000. 08000.
Yes.
333.
Yes, good. Available 24/7. So we actually made a referral virtually. So we referred to Aja police station, and because we were told the child had already received medical attention, there was no need for us to make further referral. And so we started engaging Aja, assisting in investigation. Investigation was conducted, but there was a bit of a back and forth, perhaps because they were trying to identify who the alleged perpetrator was.
Why was that so difficult?
Well, when we're dealing with children and we're dealing with institutions, it's not just one person that typically has opportunity to perpetrate defilement.
Okay.
So, let's also not forget that this crime attracts life imprisonment.
Really?
It's life. Defilement, sexual assault by penetration, rape. It's life imprisonment, no option of fine. So the police must do the needful in terms of investigation, right? And ensure that the person that is going to be brought before a court is truly the suspect.
The suspect.
So we had that. And then there was an issue as well with the medical report. So we had to refer to another health facility, which has been done. And then in Lagos, we have what we refer to as forensic interview of children that have been abused. Especially when there's some sort of ambiguity and uncertainty. So these are little things that cause the delay in the eventual charging of the case to court. But the case is actually going to court today.
Today?
Yes.
The suspect is in court.
The suspect is in custody. In police custody. Oh yes, he's been in police custody since. But because of all this evidence now that has been compiled, the medical report, the forensic interview, the statement of the child, now we have a solid file.
Don't you have something that also makes the school liable?
Of course.
Are they going to be charged likewise?
So we look at it from both civil and criminal.
Okay.
Criminal in the sense that the law, the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency Law 2021, actually has a provision that punishes schools or officials of schools that cover up.
Cover up?
Yes.
Do you have any sense of cover up in this one?
Well, I'm unable to speak in detail because we're still investigating.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is that it appears that there was no real investigation on the part of the school to unravel what had happened, right? The school must be seen to be acting in good faith. Did
they act in good faith, to the best of your knowledge?
It's dicey. It's not. I don't think there's a straightforward answer to that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What is expected of a school? If I own a school and my guard or whatever has done that, the first thing I'm going to do is reporting to the police.
That's it. Report to the police. Report to the ministry that regulates your institution.
Yes.
Ministry of Education.
So if you fail to do so, what does that then mean?
So it can raise suspicion as to you trying to cover.
Makes you an accomplice.
Exactly. An accessory after the fact.
And this is compounded by the fact that what the parents are saying here, that the owner, I'm reading from the punch now, it says the owner of the school has shown no empathy and is yet to even call the parents to sympathize with them, hasn't placed a call to sympathize with them. When the child reported to her class teacher, she was bullied.
Yes.
Okay. When contacted, the owner of the school, Comfort Ukpong, said the school would soon release. So as at yesterday, she hasn't even released a statement or anything. That's not acceptable.
And you know, when we engage schools, because we have a duty to actually enlighten schools about the protocol response for, you know, responding to child protection issues.
Yes.
And we say to them that you must show empathy. Granted, we cannot completely prevent.
Yeah, I mean, these things do happen.
They may happen, even if you put in structures and systems in place. But the critical issue is, when it has happened, what is your response? Do you empathize? Do you support investigation? Or are you in denial? Are you hell-bent on the fact that it did not happen in my school? It's not my school, you know? So, and I think that's what parents, we've been able to, you know, we address these issues on a regular basis, and I find that parents just want that empathy.
You know, this is my take, and it's becoming a general problem. We're gradually losing value for life, value for decency. We only have value for money. So my take is, I don't know about this case, but in most circumstances, the school thinks about how it's going to protect its business concern.
Their name.
And their name. But what they don't realize is that if you're quick to react,
honestly,
I mean, in what context do you put the fact that nobody has contacted the parents of the child? And the case is on this morning.
Yes.
You know, and as at whatever, they said, the Comfort Ukpong says that she will soon release. Her statement is not, you know, is unnecessary as we speak. I think it's very sad. I think you might have to call the Ministry of Education to do something about it. Do you work in conjunction with
yes.
them?
There's even a task force saddled with the responsibility of implementing the safeguarding policy.
But the school is still in operation, apparently.
So that particular school is not in operation. The school
it's
has
not in operation.
No, the school has an international school. It has a nursery and primary school. Because we visited the school. We visited the schools, I think, sometime last week.
But it's the same proprietors.
Yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, all their schools now you need to take a critical look at what's going on. It's the same management.
Definitely. And that's being looked into, actually. Because, you know, you also have to strike the right balance with the social angle side. So now this has happened, right? What's the fate of the education of all the other children? And then is it enough to now shut the school, or do we put the school on a watch list and support the school in terms of training, building capacity, safer recruitment procedures and all of that? So there's a need to strike that right balance.
Yes. Okay, you know, because I mean, as a parent, I'm just livid. You know that, and it's so sad that I don't know whether this thing happened in the past or because of the social media is not out there. But you hardly had cases like this. I don't know. When you were growing up, was there anything like this? Did you have? No, you know, just this morning I was telling Sheriff. I mean, look at a story here, for example. This is out of your jurisdiction in Ogun. A man who is 28 years old defiled his 5-year-old daughter.
Incest.
I mean, I don't, you know, I can't explain it. I'm asking myself, could it be for ritual purposes? Is it this mad idea of wanting to get money by all means that's bringing all this out? Or is the devil in the detail?
I think it's
it should be. This is where our traditional rulers should come in. Definitely. Instead of asking for 50% of the budget. I'll leave you out of that one.
Thank you, sir.
But this is where this is where I leave you out of that one. Don't comment on that. But this is where we expect there is something going on in our country.
Definitely.
You know, every day you have to contend with all these stories. The issue of child beggars is not under your jurisdiction, is it?
It's under the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. Beggars, hawking, all of that. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go down to why we are here. Yes. The first of the series. Now, I'm sure all of you don't know, or probably are not aware, about the rights of a child. And this, because it's Children's Day tomorrow, I thought that was a good place to start. Now, the rights of a child, correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Adeni, you know, I'm not a lawyer and I don't work in your ministry, but I'm glad to be part of what you're doing. The rights of a child starts from the moment the child is conceived. Is that right? Now, explain that to me. What rights to a pregnancy, the child inside, what rights does he have?
Access to prenatal care, quality prenatal care.
Okay.
But most of the rights would actually fall on the carrier of the pregnant woman.
The pregnant woman.
Access to antenatal care, to eat well, so that the baby, the in vitro, is well nourished.
When you say access now, that's the father of the child you're talking about. He has that responsibility.
So, the father, the mother, the state.
Oh, so if there's any ability to do that, the state would come in handy.
The state can support.
How? By providing food, milk?
Oh yes, we actually have programs such. It's called MICH, Maternal Child Program, being run by Office of Civic Engagement. Do you
know that I had a guest here once on this my dear Bumi thing that I do, Mrs. Fashano.
Okay.
And she told me that 3/4 of opportunities that exist for people, they don't even know. Why does your ministry's government shy away from publicizing these things? Are they afraid of the avalanche? I never heard. What did you say it's called?
MICH. MICH, yes.
So if you have a child and if you're pregnant and you're unable to sustain yourself, you can
access.
Apply to them. What do they give you?
Raw food from the period of...
Weekly, monthly?
I believe it's monthly.
Monthly?
Because they want to take advantage of when the woman will come for antenatal. So aside from coming to receive medical attention, then they also receive food products.
What about delivery?
Delivery, what about delivery as part? Payment?
Payment, if you can't pay.
So we actually have the Lagos State Health Insurance Scheme.
What's it called now? Remember?
Lashma. Ilera Eco.
Ilera Eco.
Yes. And, for a token of 8,000 for the whole year, a woman can actually be delivered of her child by paying that.
What about men who are pregnant from pot bellies?
No comments.
No comments on that. So the rights of a child starts from the moment it's conceived. Okay, so
definitely.
What about a child that is aborted? Is that considered in any way murder?
So we have, in the criminal law, we have medical abortion. There are certain instances where perhaps the life of the carrier is threatened.
Yes.
That has to be diagnosed by a physician.
Yes.
And in there are exceptional circumstances actually,
yes.
And then it will not be deemed murder. But if you procure unlawful abortion, that's actually a criminal offense.
What's the
punishment?
Yes.
I think it's 3 years.
3?
I think it's 3 years.
I think it should be upgraded to murder. Life. Behead? No, they don't behead them, they hang them. Do you still have the hangman in Lagos?
No, we don't.
You don't. So those who are sentenced to death, how do you knock them out?
So it's committed to life imprisonment, generally.
Oh, we don't have death sentences anymore.
We do have death sentences, but then most of them, especially for murder, we have the prerogative of Council of Prerogative of Mercy.
Yes. So, headed by, I think, Dr. Finney. Yes. It was headed by Dr. Finney one time.
Okay, at some point.
At some point, yes.
But there's that council, so some of those sentences are actually committed to life imprisonment.
Some, you said. What about those that are not? Do they face the hangman, electrocution, or whatever?
No, we don't have.
You don't have?
To the best of my
Maybe
knowledge.
we need to review our laws. There's no point in giving a death sentence if you won't carry it out. I think everybody's just silent on it. Nobody wants to sign off. I don't support the death sentence. What I don't like is having a death sentence hanging on somebody.
Yes.
And thinking that the hangman could turn up
anytime.
I visited the old Broad Street prison before it became Freedom Park. Way back then, I think it was sometime 68 or 69. I visited there and saw the hangman's. It was a gory sight. It was a big hole. Just before they closed down the prison completely. It wasn't a sight to behold at all, and it stuck in my memory. Okay, it's 9:19. 9:19. I might want to take some calls. Don't worry. This session with Mrs. Adeni will be going on every last Friday of the month. So it's not as if we are going to do everything thoroughly at a go. It's a continuous exercise. We are going to take calls now. 0700 993 993 993, and the female line is 01465 7190. Please, let's stick to the normal protocols and stick to the subject at hand. Okay? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jimmy.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm well.
Jonathan is on a good morning to your guest.
Good
Yeah,
morning, sir.
morning.
I didn't know we were talking about children this morning, and just like I called some quite minutes back,
Yes.
I saw my 12 yesterday. This kind of thing is really. I saw a young boy just yesterday.
Yesterday.
You know this Hausa guy selling pepper tomatoes. You carry on your left hand, carry on your right hand, carry on your head. I was driving. I was just worried. I said, what is going on?
About what age is he?
And taking.
Sorry?
So, and I become worried immediately. That was just yesterday. And that's why I use it as my open mind this morning. Because I think somebody should do something about this thing.
Oh, okay, thank you. Please. All right, we'll take. I can hardly hear you.
There's one on this bridge right now with a twin baby. I don't know who we align all this.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I think the point is noted.
Yes.
Please, when you call, try and call from a quiet background, okay, so we can hear you loud and clear. But I think you got the thrust of what you were saying.
Yes.
Child labor.
Child labor.
Is there a listing for it?
Oh yes, there's the Ministry of Youth and Social Development is
Yes.
saddled with the responsibility of, ensuring that does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't mind, can I share a line, a telephone
Yeah, share a
number?
line. Yeah, sure. I mean,
So the rescue line of the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, if you see any case like that,
yes.
you can call them 0809 722 6696. I'll take that again.
Yes.
0809 722 6696.
Good.
But please just be sure to give them exact details.
Lagos State
location.
has
and
a
all
lot of money, so we send you a bill for that. No, it's our own contribution.
Thank you,
It's our own contribution to. People need to be informed.
Definitely.
I'm very, very desperate about that. They need to get a hang of what's going on. The way we treat our children. Like the gentleman said, it's all one selling tomatoes at the time when that child should be in school. It's an offense not to send your child to school, isn't it?
It is, because it's actually the right to education is
Yes.
in the Child's Rights Law, Section 14.
So if you don't send your child to school, what do you get?
So it's not criminal. But
Okay.
the law says that you should send your child to school. And it's free.
Primary
Government school. Yes,
Government school.
it is free.
Okay. All right. Let's take another one. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Morning. Morning. Oh, we missed that one. Let's take another one. Hello. Morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Yeah, this Friday from Igwelere.
Yes.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy, then what do you say about these beggars? That we have 4, 5 children. Some of them are 10 years, some are 9 years.
Yes.
We even up to 6 children. Then
Yes.
when they see you, the father and the mother will be sitting on one spot. Then they will be pointing their children to meet people for begging. Is
Yes.
it not that also not child labor?
Okay.
It is.
Children for begging.
It is.
Why don't we clear them off the streets? What's the problem?
So it's done routinely. I think just 2-3 weeks ago, some were arrested, again by the Ministry of Youth and Social Development.
Where do you take them? Where do you take them? We just have a minute to go.
Okay, there's actually there are several rehabilitation centers
Okay.
that, especially for children that have
Okay.
been exposed to such.
All right, we'll talk about it. We have to take a break now.
Okay,
Okay. We need to take a commercial break. We'll be back in less than a minute.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
Get breaking news, updates, and the best of talk.
Women have to work twice, even thrice as hard for them to get things that just come so naturally to a lot of men who feel that leadership is their right.
We're in prisons for how many years?
For 6 years, 8 months.
Were you going to court from prisons then?
Yes, but before I started court, it took me 2 years.
Just being in prison?
Yes.
Without your case even start at all?
Confinement.
You were there?
Yeah.
Here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Talk never stop.
When I collect my salary, my husband will lock me in the house and make sure I submit to the whole money.
My wife woke me in the night one certain time and he asked me a question that I should swear whether if I don't cheat on her. And the sleep just collect.
Spending what little revenue we have to look for oil is a waste of money that could have been used to diversify our economy so that the government has other revenue streams.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Information, news, talk every day.
Can the woman make you steal?
Oh yes, a woman can make you do a lot of things that you know.
The judge cannot find you culpable for a crime when there are no rules for even the extent of the punishment.
With its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak protein breakfast with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with Peak Protein Breakfast. Have you had yours? Peak. Reach for your peak.
Health, they say, is wealth. But when securing good health costs you an arm and a leg, or when you are at the hospital and they insist on a hefty deposit before treatment,
but when Avon HMO has your back, you won't have to scream, Yekba, because in the end, we all need people. Visit avonhealthcare.com now to get an Avon Health plan for you and your people.
Avon HMO, empowering you to live a healthier, fuller life.
Johnny, if I dey look for high odds, fast payout, or place where I go fit bet with small money, now where I go look?
Sure, now bet winner now.
Una don hear am now. Bet winner na be the ogbonge bookmaker wey dey easy to use. You fit place bet with small money like 30 naira. You even fit withdraw as low as 550 naira from your account without any charges. If you deposit as low as 400 naira, then go sama you with bonus.
Log on to m.betwinner.ng or the Betwinner mobile app for plenty goodies.
But you must be 18 years and above to enjoy betting.
Betwinner, home of true winners.
Madam, we have arrived. Your fare is 7K.
Ha! 7K? Kilo de? Oga, na only 4K I budget to this small distance.
Madam, no be me. Now traffic do this one.
Abeg, wait first, make I call somebody.
Hey Deborah, what's up?
Saro dear, shall I fit see 4K for your hand, abeg?
Oh, abeg, I don't get. Pressure to put you.
Ha! Do baton.
Madam, I fit help you.
How, Biko?
Right now, pay later deal.
What? Which one is that one again?
Yes, you can now book your Bolt ride or other bus and cab services as many times as possible and pay at the end of the month.
Simply visit www.kabu.ng, that is cabu.ng,
and set up a monthly plan in less than 10 minutes. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, wow, right now, pay later. Nothing wey we no go see for this Nigeria.
Powered by Kabu.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Go, 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 go grains. We love our Kellogg's Go grains. Go, 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 go grains. Love the goodness of its multigrains.
Grain sets go!
With protein and creamy tasty Kellogg's Go grains.
Grain sets go!
With vitamins and minerals in Kellogg's Go grains.
Grain sets go!
So go, 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 go.
The new Kellogg's Go grains, available in stores near you.
Grain sets go!
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Yeah, reactor. Ignite your energy. Bring out your inner champion. Baby, reactor. Reactor. Ignite your energy.
energy drink. What you need to push your limits. Push your limits.
Looking for a better way to give reward. Yeah, you want show your body love. Love. Cash token there for you. You don't need to bother anymore. Just dial the code. 6700. Instant cash will go switch your belly. Whenever you recharge or pay your bills. With 5K to 100 million. 6700. You fit buy the token for yourself. Give them to your family and your friends. Oh, yeah, go purchase the token. Anytime and any day. Any bill you want to pay. Just use the code. 6700. Instant cash with no delay. Drop pass and make it pay. No waste time to use the code. 6700.
Terms and conditions apply.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
You're welcome back to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, and I have Mrs. Adeni of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. Okay, and we are talking about the rights. We are talking about the rights of a child, right from inception. Okay, so of course you now heard there were calls about using children for labor. What is the minimum age? What is the minimum age that, okay, so because you do find sometimes there's a need.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to get a bit practical here. Sometimes there's a need for a child to assist the parents. Where I buy my plantain, for example, the woman has her child that's always with her. She knows how to roast barley and corn and things like that. So what's the minimum acceptable age?
So I think it's the labor that the child is exposed to should be commensurate with the age. So So it's not cast in stone.
Okay.
But most importantly, it should not be done during school hours.
I see.
Because obviously, as you've rightly said, our culture, some children have to assist because of their socioeconomic status.
So are we talking of primary school or secondary school children? Is secondary school compulsory?
So it's actually Section 14 of the Child Rights. So it's actually free education, right to free education. It's free, compulsory, and universal basic education, which is primary and secondary.
School.
Yeah.
And secondary.
Yes.
So if you have a 13-year-old roaming the streets and not going to school, it's an offense?
It's not an offense.
Part of the parents, yes.
But the law says that children should be in school. And the parents, if a parent cannot place a child in a school, they can consider maybe vocational schools, right?
Okay, so that vocational also covers the issue of a child learning how to be a mechanic.
Exactly, but in a vocational center. We have like 5 of such in Lagos.
Not the ones that carry the bowl to go and buy rice for Oga.
No. Technical colleges. Yes, that's what they are called. Technical colleges.
I'm looking forward to a time in this country where to call yourself a mechanic, you'll have to be certified somewhat. I think through you would like the state government to look into that. It happens in other countries.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why if you want to build a real good house, you have to go across the border to get the labor, because they have a formal training in building, in mechanic. Here, what you have is somebody is with a Fatai or a Sunday. For the first 2 years, all he does is carry the bowl to go and buy beans and dodo for and so on and so forth. And then he does freedom, he brings tricks. And In some cases, they have no formal training. They don't have any proper training.
Hmm.
And you even do find by the second or third year, he's ready to escape. And so it would be nice if the state government could consider certifying every professional, tailor, mechanic, electrician, rewire, Vocational,
Yes.
formal training. I don't think we should be running away from that.
I think that's actually on through
It's
the
on now.
through the LSCTF, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
Okay.
So they have especially skills such as this.
Yes.
So like tailoring, building, dry cleaning.
Dry cleaning, yeah.
I'm not sure of mechanics, but I know
Okay.
that these soft skills are actually being certified.
Certified. Okay. All right. Do we have oh, look, we have about 1 or 2 calls. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Uncle Jimmy,
Yes.
please, you know, when they were, say, when during the Fashola time,
Yes.
these children, they don't come out to beg.
Okay.
Because it's like they are breeding another set of Ahmadiris in Lagos, and everybody is keeping quiet.
Okay.
Because they will rise tomorrow to tell you that I've lived in Lagos for 10 years, I'm a Lagosian.
Yes.
And if they're going to live in Lagos, and if we are all going to live in Lagos, we should have a certain level of education and responsibility. And it should start from these children.
Yes.
During the Fashola time, you don't see them coming out to begin at the school hour. They don't carry things at school hour. It was totally stopped. I don't know what this government is doing. They should not encourage it, no matter what and no matter who. Because every race, every tribe is doing it.
Okay.
So it's not like it's particular with anybody in particular. And then some women, because these children are now going to grow up knowing that you can beg as a profession. So it's very, socially, it's not a very good thing to overlook. It's not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
And some people, grown-ups that do it, should also be stopped.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yes, because he made the distinction and said during its Lagos State government is one Lagos State government.
Yes.
So, but because he said during the Fashola time and so on and so forth,
Yes.
I'll save you the
Thank you so much.
the wahala of having to answer that question.
Thank
Because
you
that
so
involves a lot of politics.
Definitely.
But could you talk in general though, without referring to Fashola years or whatever years? Surely, I mean, in the past we were able to do something about it. Is it that I shouldn't ask you that question. I was going to ask whether the ministry is overwhelmed, whether the numbers have increased or it's just that the focus has been off that. But that's a political question.
Yes.
I don't want to. I don't have a job for a lawyer. Of how many years have you been at the bar?
Over a decade.
Over a decade. So I don't have the money. A lot of people will criticize me for not asking that. I need to protect this madam here.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Good morning.
You have to speak up, please. I can hardly hear you. This is a pillow voice.
Good morning.
Sit up, sit up, sit up.
Please, I want to talk about this child labor.
I can hardly hear you, madam.
Are you hearing me now?
Now, yes. Now, yes.
So, please, I want to talk about this child labor something. Like,
Yes.
the area where I stay at Play.
You say at?
These children, like these recruits that they bring into the country.
I can hardly hear you. Please pick the next call. Please, when you do call, try and speak up. You're going through so many processes before it comes on air, so we need to hear you quite clearly. Sit up and call from a quiet place, and don't use the speaker phone. Just talk directly into your phone so we can hear you loud and clear. Good morning. Hello, morning. Morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning, yes.
In fact, I just want to comment about what I saw yesterday at 1004.
Yes.
I saw a little girl of about 7 years.
Yes.
Carrying a girl of about close to 8 months at her back, and then started baking. And the sun was so much, around 2:30 to 3 p.m. And in fact, I was crying. Why should this be done? And you know these people, they will go to this nanny people, the people that are taking care of the children, and hire all these children, put them on the sun, and when it is around 5 to 5 or 5:30, they will go and dress them up and keep for the parents. Please, Lagos State should see about what is happening in this, Lagos State. It's very, very bad.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we already had that. So
Definitely.
Okay.
Just to, I don't want us to paint a very
grim picture.
Yes, a picture of despair. We know that there are issues. There are institutions that are set up to actually address these issues, and we are only as good as the information that we get.
That you get. Yeah.
So I would just like to encourage our listeners, please, if you see such happening, please call.
Call, yes.
I shared the rescue line. Please call. Share relevant information, and within maximum 48 hours, social welfare officers will be at that
Well, I can
location.
easily tell you there are some traffic spots that Maryland, for example, is.
Yes.
And that's on the way to Alausa.
Yes, Maryland.
Maryland is. CMS is okay. 1004 area, you know, that access.
Okay.
These are the two ones.
We'll share this information.
We'll share this
with-
information.
Right.
Where's another hotspot for it? No, Maryland. There's that. In Surrey, no, that you don't have much of that. But you do have certain hotspots. People are free to call. What's the number again?
Let me get it.
Yes, we'll share the number with you so that we can get rid of this.
It's 0809
Yes.
722
Yes.
6696.
96. So you can call that number, and you said within 48 hours. Let's put it to test, okay?
Please.
Let somebody call. Tell us that you have called on Monday. Then on Wednesday we'll have you online, and you tell us if it is still there. We need to put you on your toes.
Thank you.
All these fat salaries. That's we need to let you sweat. We need to let you sweat for it. Now, when it comes to discipline, what are the rights of a child as far as, for example, does the state government encourage, is it capital punishment? They call it caning?
Caning. Corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment. I wanted to be sure.
So we actually have a no caning policy in our schools.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's not even this administration. It's been in existence. I think
Okay.
what we need to, of course, we need to ensure enforcement.
So in Lagos State schools, no caning?
We have a no caning policy. Then when it comes to, and why do we have a no, why are we saying that you shouldn't cane a child? Because caning is actually, when you physically, because it's physical assault of a child, you're taking away the dignity of that child. And the right to dignity is one of the rights of a child. It's an inalienable right? And so we believe that there are other ways of disciplining children. If you look at the word discipline, it's actually from the Latin word disciplinary,
okay,
which means to teach, to show by example, to lead. So the point where you are caning, you are not disciplining. What you're doing really is you're just venting your anger. And that is why we have cases of children that are now maybe blind, as a result of being caned by either the proprietor or even by the parent.
So in clear terms, it is an offense to cane a child.
We have a zero tolerance policy for caning.
Is
in
it an
schools.
offense? And not the zero policy. Is it an offense?
So the law doesn't say caning is an offense.
What does it say?
It talks if you cane a child, if you cane a child and the child there are injuries as a result of that caning.
I need to be clear on that.
Yes.
Is it caning or caning excessively?
So I think it's both. For schools, it's caning.
In schools, no cane at all.
There's that policy. No caning policy. It's
From
in schools.
primary all to secondary.
Yes, in Lagos State. But when it comes to discipline, maybe at home, once it has caused injury,
If it has caused injury,
it has become child abuse.
Okay, so what about stooping down and
pig pin, I don't know the other punishment, but the different
yes,
punishments.
It's been long
Yes.
since I've been punished. I'm subject to the different kind of punishment now.
Angle. I think there's one angle.
But but caning, I think caning made me a better man. No?
Did it really?
I think it did, because when I remember my mom, she beat. And I grew up, of course, in school. We were Famoroti. Gee whiz. He will cane the living daylights out of you, and I avoided him for the 5 years. I never got under his radar because I mean, come on, you know. We had when I was in school, we had park repi. If you offend another teacher, yadada or whatever, you go to meet park repi. So you can't do all
To be
these
caned?
To be caned now.
Oh wow.
You can't do 6. Which school did you go? I'm sorry, you went to school in England.
No,
Which school?
I won't mention the school.
Which school? You went to Queen's College?
No.
Which
I
one?
didn't.
Tell us now.
No, there's a reason, sir. There's a reason why I won't mention the name of the school.
The school was it an unapproved school? Because when we were in school, we had what you call unapproved schools.
We still do. They are called unapproved. Yes, unapproved schools, and they are not registered.
But it's not as prevalent as when we were in school. The approved schools were, there were not that many. We knew ourselves. If you were in Baptist Cards, you'd know everybody in Greg's, Holy Child,
Horsey College,
College, and so on. And so, if you went to an unapproved school way back then, we had that. But so you can't cane anybody in. You can't. No punishment at all.
It's actually a policy, and in fact, people can be brought to book for caning.
Do you think that in that wise, this could be partially responsible for the level of indiscipline we have? Because we do have a problem of discipline.
We do.
Children talk to you anyhow. They're always angry. You can't get them to do things. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So I think we need to realize that this is a different generation. And
I see.
I don't think we really appreciated that this generation is unique. They are exposed to social media. They are exposed to information. The level of peer pressure is at a high. And so the discipline measures that we used in the past may not necessarily be applicable for this generation. As you've said, they will talk back at you. But in their mind, they are not talking back because they want to be rude. They are asking questions. Previous generations won't ask questions. A child should be seen and not heard.
Yes, sir.
Now a child is seen and heard.
The most you could say, and that would probably be to your seniors, in a muffled tone, what have I done? What have I done? So the days of do good in the corner, those days are gone. Mr. Do good.
So I think it's important that we realize that each generation has its own peculiarities.
Yes.
And even with all this sort of brazenness and their nature of being so vocal, I think we have both the good and the bad, the benefits and the disadvantages.
Thinking over it, I think at some point, because there'll be the cane and you'll be told to smell it, and then what does it taste? You say it tastes. It smells like sugar.
That is torture.
But we didn't see that as torture. You'll be flexing. but look,
inhumane treatment.
You might look at it that way, but we didn't see it that way. We were. What you wanted to do then was to avoid getting into trouble.
But then, does that address the bad behavior?
I don't have bad behavior.
Not you, sir.
I went through strong. No, let's use my own as a case study. I went through very strong discipline until today. Look, that's why you can't find me standing and looking at what on quantity. You must do this. You mustn't take something that doesn't belong to you. You know, all these little things.
Values that were inculcated.
Values, yes, but he went pari passu. With the punishment, you do this, then
consequences.
The consequences, you do good, you smell the cane again. I would like us to have a debate on that. There's somebody I have in mind, Grandma Willoughby. We have Mrs. Willoughby. She's in Ikorodu.
Okay.
I'd like her to come in and let's have a discussion. She's an old teacher. Okay.
Okay.
And so we can have a discussion and find out whether what we had in the past, moderated as it were, you know, so where does the saying spare the rod and spoil the child? Where does that come in?
So, but even if you look at Psalm 23, thy rod and thy staff comfort me.
That's if you're a Christian. If you're a Muslim, God tells the one in the Quran.
Hey,
well,
I will find out, sir. I will find out. But I think the point is, correction should be done in love. The point where they are we had just recently a woman. The mother said that her son had stolen meat.
Yes.
Do you know this woman caught this boy?
No.
But she said she was telling us that she's disciplining him because she doesn't want him to turn out as a wayward child. In her mind, she said that was what she felt was the best because this is how she was treated as a child.
No, not that. The most I would have as I remember, I grew up in a community in Yaba. The most that we have sometimes we have some people, their parents, their mother will tell you, well, come and taste this soup. Because take and lick and tell me whether it's sweet. You put it, will burn your hand. Then they'll be telling you that, you see,
take this again.
You better watch where your hands go. 9:50. I think I can take one more call and then we'll be out of here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jerry.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Joshua.
Morning, Joshua. Yes.
I'm actually calling on this program to make an inquiry if it's possible to report a parent that you see that's signing it.
If it's what?
To report parents that you...
To report parents?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. That's why we gave out the number.
Okay.
Report parents for what?
There's
if they're maltreating a child.
Okay, of course.
Of course, yes. That's why...
That actually feels like education is not important for our children.
Oh.
So
okay. Are you? Thank you very much because I have run out of. Are you on the social media?
We are.
So if you are in doubt, just type Google on your phone or whatever number to call domestic violence, and then you get the number and you call and make the report. Yeah. Can you make the report in secret?
Yes, and yeah, of course.
Okay,
we
fine.
have what we call mandated reporters.
Okay.
So he can actually report he can report anonymously.
You can report anonymously.
But he should please give us all the information so we don't have to keep calling.
Okay. So we'll be back again next month. Are we right?
By God's
is that a deal?
It is.
Okay, so we'll be back again the last Friday of July. I've had Mrs. Titi Adeni. I think I've dropped the verb now, so the man doesn't get too upset. And we'll be back again at the end of the day. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
I enjoyed this session. Maybe the next one we'll think of a topic, probably the rights of a woman or so on and so forth. So it's going to be an ongoing thing. We'll keep doing it until we get a better society. That will be our own contribution. Feta, thank you very much. God bless you. All right. So you've heard. So ignorance is not. What do they say? Ignorance is not an excuse in law. You need to be careful. Tomorrow is Children's Day, and if you miss tomorrow, you'll be missing a lot. I'm going to have about 5-6 children in the studio, and they will just have fun. And I can tell you, I've been doing this now for 10 to 11 years. Every Children's Day, it's some fun that you will just want to listen and listen and listen. I see you all tomorrow at 9. Bye.
I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired are fired. It's
it's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a